What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Devin the Bear, here to discuss UFC 286. Yeah, this fucking DJ sounds. I don't know, man. Let's get right into it. Yeah, man. This card is taking place in the UK, so it's gonna be another London card at the O2 Arena. I think they changed the name of it. I don't know. I don't know. I heard. I was watching Errol talk to what's his name, Conor McGregor, and he's talking about some stadium, and I think they changed the name. But then again, I think that was in Ireland. I don't know, dude. It was 5 a.m. when I was watching this shit. So
should probably go to sleep.
Yeah. You got some pretty good early preliminaries happening. You got Jai Herbert taking on Ludovic Klein. Joanne Wood is making her comeback. So that's totally exciting to see. Malcolm Gordon as well. Man, I could kind of keep going on. Laurent Murphy is the early prelim headliner, and let's say for the prelims, you got Mohamed Makayev. He's a huge flyweight prospect coming up right now. I really don't see him losing anytime soon until he gets into the top 5.
He's really good. He's really well rounded for someone at the stage that he's at in the UFC.
He's so early in the
pretty
sport.
Promising.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to watch. So definitely, if you're a fan of grappling, I do recommend tuning into him. He is super dominant, and it's crazy to watch, especially at that weight class. You don't see a lot of that. Let's see. So you got Jack Shore taking on Amir Khani for the early, or not early, fucking prelim headliner. Thank you, Jesus, hey, dude. Me trying to get that name right, completely made my brain.
Makwan Amir Khani.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a very fun fight. Were it not for some of the other fights on the main card, I'd say that'd be fight of the night. But some of these other fights on the main card are gonna take it. Yeah, that's just how there is to it.
And you know what fight I think takes that?
Which one
is the opener? You got Roman Dolidze taking on Marvin Vettori. I think those guys go at it. I think that's a very fun fight. Actually, excuse me, I forgot Justin Gaethje was.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't agree. I think with that opener, Marvin Vettori and Roman Dolidze, I'm gonna have to see any differences in Marvin Vettori with his striking to believe he's gonna win that fight.
That makes sense.
I like him. I want to like him anyway. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about Marvin Vettori. I think it's just his lead up to the Izzy fight, which is so funny that I just I already liked watching him fight because he's got really good fundamentals, and I like to see that.
Yeah.
But that Izzy fight, I was just like, yeah, you're not very good at anything. You're just a good all-around fighter. He's a jack of all trades, but he's not a renaissance man. But if he comes in there and shows some improved striking, specifically his Muay Thai, since that's what he's been working, I think he's got a chance because I don't know how he does it, but he takes some punches. He can work his boxing well enough to be out of the way, but I think that Dolidze's cardio and his pressure is gonna be too much. Yeah, and it's either gonna be a finish on the ground, probably second or third round, or on the feet.
I think Dolidze goes home with one of his arms. Just the way his jiu-jitsu is so smooth though, it really is. But the way that he's able to transition his grappling into MMA, which we really don't see a lot of that. He was able to sweep Jack Hermanson. When you see sweeps like that in MMA, it's dude, that's impressive. It really is impressive. It's really one of a kind to watch because a lot of these guys can't do that. These high-level BJJ guys, they come into the sport and they're still able to get submissions and stuff like that, but they're not able to sweep. They're not able to do certain moves that this guy has done, especially at the weight class that he's at, dude. He's going against guys that are 200 pounds, and they're not just 200 pounds of fat. They're solid dudes. It's really impressive to watch, but just the way that Marvin Vettori fights, I don't know. That's where me and you kind of disagree. I'm not a big fan of him. When it comes to it,
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. It took a while for me to understand it, but I get it. I'm confused as to why I bought in so much with him. Yeah. I don't know what it was. He's just funny, I guess. I don't like.
He is hilarious.
It's he's a meathead, but he's aware of it. Yeah. So he's not just this dumb idiot. But he acts like a dumb idiot because he's aware of how much of a meathead he is. So it's weird, but it's funny.
It is funny. He's a fucking idiot. He's just dumb, dude. But he has been working on his English as well, so I think that kind of helps him out a little bit to come across more understandings to some of these guys. sometimes that language barrier, because he's Italian, and so that language barrier kind of makes them look like more like idiots, like they're not really.
Oh,
What? Oh, sorry,
just
that
kidding.
was a stereotype, and that's offensive. So, but I got Delize taking that, man. I got him taking that by submission. I really don't know what Marvin Vettori is going to be able to do to stop Roman Delize anywhere the fight goes. So when it comes to the stand up, Roman has better stand up. When it comes to the ground, we've seen Delize actually finish the fight on the ground when it goes there. And while Marvin Vettori has been, been more of a meat blanket. I guess that's a new term. People
Yeah.
are coining now.
Well, not finishing someone on the ground but staying dominant is just as good as getting a finish. I know a lot of people don't like to admit that, but
I see what
it's
you're
true.
saying.
Like you look at people like Marab, he doesn't have a lot of finishes, but he's so dominant when he's on top.
Yeah.
And Marvin Vettori, I don't want to compare his dominance on top to Marab's because it's not at that level.
No.
But he is really good when he's got someone in side control or half guard. I think he's really good in those positions.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I see him like take anybody down, I'm like, God, man, like this is why I'm poor stand up sometimes.
Yeah.
I get a little frustrated with it. I'm like, do something, please. Put your elbow in his thigh. Do something. Pull his hair. So
Can't do that with Roman.
No, you can't. You can pull the beard. That would probably piss him off. Actually, I don't know if
that might piss off an entire religion. I don't know what Roman Dolize is, but
I don't know. It's a stretch. Just because he has a beard, dude. Come on, look at you. That's stereotype.
It's a stereotype, and that's offensive.
Okay, so we got
theme for the episode.
And so there we go. We're gonna just make that the thumbnail.
PSA: stereotypes are offensive, guys.
Yeah, stop it. Get some help. So we got Jennifer Maia taking on Casey O'Neill. I know you're excited for this fight.
Yeah, big fan of Casey O'Neill. I think she has a big test with Maia. I think it'll be her first like real test because she finally started getting some tough competition. She had Roxanne Modafferi and then Antonina Shevchenko, and she beat them. I was pretty surprised with the Modafferi fight. I do think she won that fight, and it was pretty good. But Maia's different. I don't know. She's pretty good. She surprises me.
Yeah, she's real tough. I mean, her last fight was in November, and you also got to consider is Casey O'Neill's coming off of a ACL injury.
Yeah, it'll be her first fight back from that.
And so, I mean, a pretty quick turnaround for a serious injury, though. I feel like usually some people, it takes them quite a while to come back after it's been a little, just about 13 months since her last fight, and I think, I mean, it's just the ACL is super important. I mean, that sounds stupid because it's the fucking knee. But like, oh man, like it's like that. There was this fitness dude that said one time, was like, drink water, man. It's good for you. Water makes you live. And it's like, no fucking shit, dude. Like, what do you think we're going on about? Like,
you think he was paid to say that?
I don't know who the fuck he was paid by, but they're wasting their money. So spend your money on Devin the Bear. Sponsor us. That's what I think is a smart idea.
Yeah.
And so
DM us.
Yeah, so you got fucking what's his name? Oh no, what's his name? What's her name? Casey O'Neill. She's 9-0 right now, but also coming off that serious injury. Jennifer Maia is tough she's tough, man. She's been around for a while. And I don't really know too much about Casey O'Neill to really have an opinion on her as much as you do.
She's got really good ground game. So if this stays on the feet, it'll be interesting. If it goes to the ground, Maia's very good on the ground, but I think Casey O'Neill's a little slicker with the submissions than Maia. It'll be interesting seeing her try to do it because Maia's really strong. She's very stocky. But if it stays on the feet, it'll be interesting. Casey O'Neill's pretty good with the stand-up, but I wouldn't say she has as good of hands as Jennifer Maia, so that'll be interesting to see. I think it goes to the ground, though.
So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I don't know. Yeah.
Gunnar Nelson, Brian Barberena?
It's exciting.
Yeah. It's cool to see Gunnar Nelson fight. I don't know when he's going to retire because it's kind of like I forget that he hasn't retired, and that sounds bad. I really like Gunnar Nelson. I love watching him fight, but I just forget that he isn't retired because I feel like he has fought like once in the last couple of years.
Is it because y'all look alike?
What?
Y'all look alike.
Do we?
Y'all have a resemblance.
I think he looks like my friend Chad.
So yeah, without the beard,
Chad
maybe.
Cook, if you're ever listening, you look like Gunnar Nelson.
So Zach Poirier, well, fuck, You look like
Uh,
no. No.
no.
You do with the beard. They all you have a similar. You have a similar facial structure, man. So you got Zach taking on Brian Barberino. Zach, how do you beat Brian Barberino?
I shoot him in the legs.
Jesus Christ, dog.
I wouldn't have much of a chance against Brian Barberina. Are you asking me or are you asking Gunnar Nelson?
Well, same, different.
I think if Gunnar wants to win this fight, he has to get it to the ground. If it stays on the feet, I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with Brian. I don't know how Brian does it. I don't know how he can sit there and get hit and just keep going.
Dude.
But I don't think Gunnar hits him as much as he's been getting hit lately. So,
no, man. I think, yeah, Gunnar needs to get this shit straight to the ground. But I don't know if he's as dominant on the ground as somebody as RDA is. You know, RDA just really put on a great showcase against Brian Barberino. I like Brian Barberino. I think he's a cool dude. He's got a great attitude. He likes to fight. Like
Yeah.
you can't ever dislike somebody who likes to go in there and throw down. You know, it's not always the prettiest technique, but it lands and he makes it happen. And yeah, I don't know. I would like to see Brian Barberino win, but it's also for Gunnar Nelson. Like I think he needs this one a lot more than Brian Barberino does. You know. And so if he goes out there and gets a dominant win and is able to put a stop on Brian Barberina, then that's going to be pretty impressive.
Yeah,
But
I would think if he wins against Brian Barberina, I don't know what his contract is, but I'd give him like 2 more fights.
Yeah,
he might win the next one. And then if he does, give him a kind of a bigger fight and let him retire on that one. I don't know. He can do what he wants. I don't know. That'd be my speculation, but I don't think Gunnar Nelson's going to win.
I don't think so either.
I think it's gonna be Brian.
It's Brian. I think Brian's gonna make it a fucking war, like he always does. And Gunner's not gonna know what to do with that. He doesn't handle pressure very well, you know. And some people don't. It's not like I'm not trying to knock on the dude. Some people do not handle that kind of pressure that Brian Barber brings well. You know, it's a lot to take in. And I mean, Brian Barberina is a pretty big dude, but I gotta agree with you. I think Brian Barberina takes it by it's gonna be by stoppage. So
yeah, I could see it being stoppage. I don't know if he gets a knockout. I could see it being a TKO. Gunnar can hang in there. He's smart, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. So for the co-main event of the night, it also probably was gonna be fight of the night.
Probably, yeah.
More than likely, we got Justin Gaethje taking on Rafael Fiziev, and this fight is freaking exciting.
Yeah, unless it's an early finish.
Yeah.
It's got to be fight of the night.
Yeah, if it's an early finish, who do you think gets it?
I don't know. I think either guy could get it if it's an early finish.
Yeah.
I think Justin throws harder than Fiziev, but Fiziev is just better than Justin. He's like cleaner. He's got better technique.
Yeah.
So I think he's just a better striker than Justin. But I think if Justin is smart and uses his wrestling for once, he could really wear down Fiziev at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of grind him down, throw some elbows, make it real dirty, and then I think that gives him a much better chance.
I don't think he does that, though.
I don't either. Like I said, he for once in his career, but it won't happen.
It will not happen. He refuses to fight like that. He refuses to have boring fights. And Fiziev has shown his toughness, and that's exactly like, and we already know how tough somebody like Justin Gaethje is. But like you said, it's just I don't know what Justin's gonna be able to do. Like he's gonna throw, you know, some heavy hooks and a leg kick against a Muay Thai champ, you know?
It might.
Yeah.
And if he lands any of them, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna mess up Fiziev.
Yeah, I think Fiziev's gonna be like, all right, motherfucker, and he's gonna throw it right back, and then you're just gonna have a fun fight. But I don't know, man. I'm surprised how many people are going against Fiziev in this fight. Like in the sense of like, if you had to pick who's gonna win, I get if you're a fan of Justin, you want Justin to win. You know, but like if you look at Rafael Fiziev and what he's been doing to guys and his whole accolades in the sport as well as Muay Thai and MMA, it's like, man, dude, like this dude's a serious fucking problem for this division, and there's a reason only one person was willing to take this fight against them. You know?
Yeah. It's Justin Gaethje. If he lands a clean punch on you, you're gonna feel it, and it's gonna affect how you fight.
It's gonna sting a little bit.
So he can still get the knockout. I'm not ruling that out.
Right.
It's just like we were saying, Fiziev is just very clean. He's if he starts getting hit and it's not clean, then he's going to be hitting right back, and it's going to be a lot cleaner than Justin's.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to give it to Fiziev. Probably a knockout.
You got a knockout. See, I think it was you take it by decision.
I think that's what I have on verdict because it's hard to imagine Justin Gaethje getting knocked out. But
Consider, I don't know. For me, it's like I can imagine it. You know,
then why don't you pick it?
What's that? I don't think Fiziev is going to be able to knock. If it was a 5 round fight, I think Fiziev would be able to finish him. But over a course of 3 rounds, no. Like I don't think he's able to.
Yeah, I don't think so either. If Michael Chandler couldn't do it with the stuff he was hitting him with, and that dude hits hard, so I'm gonna go Fiziev, but probably decision, but I'm gonna say knockout.
Yeah. Okay. Got you.
With the hope.
Let's hope for a knockout, man. So let's hope for another knockout on that main event too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Leon Edwards finally defending the title on home soil against Kamaru Usman.
I think this fight, Kamaru will come in a lot heavier with the wrestling.
He has to.
Yeah. I don't think he'll sit there and stand up with. I what I would think is every time that Leon throws a kick, Kamaru's going to want to catch it and grapple, whether it's a clinch or a takedown. I think he's going to do that to kind of try and deter the kicks. But if he starts reaching for him, then he's just going to get kicked in the head again.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna just about to say when you say if he reaches for that kick to catch it and take him down, is this is gonna set Leon up because he like going into the second fight, a lot of people said that knockout was luck and it was a fluke and this and that, and it's like I don't agree with that, and that's because we all knew Leon Edwards had the better striking out of the two. We all knew that when it came to the feet that Kamaru was not gonna want to stand with him. Yeah. I mean, probably just like box with him a little bit, then of course go for the takedown. And so I think that setup, and then you look at Leon's credentials as a fighter. I mean, it wasn't a fluke. A fluke is like if he just said "fuck it" and threw like a spinning back elbow out of just desperation, and then landed it out of nowhere, and then got it. Like you look at your Rodriguez's knockout on Korean Zombie. Like I think that one had to be a little bit of luck.
See, my philosophy with that is there is no luck. When you throw it, you're throwing it to hurt him.
Right.
And your goal is for it to land. So when it lands and you knock him out, that's the goal. I don't think that's luck. That was the point. That's why you threw it. With the Korean Zombie knockout, when you're through that, like, there's so much intention behind it.
Right.
Like,
right.
he ducked the shot and then threw the elbow up because he knew vaguely where Korean Zombie was going to be. Otherwise, who would throw that? So I think he gets that knockout and it doesn't happen again, but I wouldn't call it luck.
Right.
So with Leon, it for sure wasn't luck, and I think you can hear his corner. At some point they're talking about it and they're mentioning, look for that duck, and that's referring to Kamaru ducking into that potential roundhouse.
Right.
I don't know if Leon's going to be able to go in there and stop an aggressive wrestler as easily, because I don't think Kamaru was being as aggressive with his wrestling in that last fight. But I do think that Leon showed us, and maybe people don't admit it, but I do think Leon showed us that he can at least kind of grapple.
Right.
And is on the level of Kamaru. Because he was taking Kamaru down, and no one else has been able to do that.
Trip was so nice, dude. In that first round,
I'd like to see him welcome a takedown and maybe reverse it, get a sweep. That would be pretty freaking cool. I'd like to see him take Kamaru's back and get a submission. That would be so cool. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Leon Edwards by rear naked choke.
I don't think you're wrong for that, though. I think it's a big possibility. I think going into it, I mean, there's not gonna be any elevation in this fight. People keep talking about that, but I also feel like the point is like they're like, well, Leon got tired in the second fight because of the elevation in Salt Lake City, but like you also got to consider it. Well, I mean, Usman wasn't tired at all.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like if he wasn't tired then, like imagine what he's gonna be like over here. It's gonna be a long night for Leon if he's not able to like earn the respect of Marty if he doesn't do anything.
Body shots.
And so lots of them, dude. Like just set up that kick. That Kamaru was worked a lot on making sure not to drop that hand to be ready for that kick whenever he dips out the left hand. Leon is a southpaw. But I think that he's just gonna like, I mean, that's gonna be a perfect setup for the body because his hand's gonna be up high, you know,
Yeah.
to try and cover his chin and his face. And because he's a boxer, he's not a kickboxer, so blocking is a little different when it comes to that kind of style. It doesn't really guard the face as well, you know, for head kicks because or on head kicks in boxing. But I think what's his name? Fucking dude,
Leon?
Leon, yeah.
Kamara?
I think Leon like has the confidence that he needed. You know, now he's going to this fight. He's like, I'm better than this guy. Like, there's no way this guy can beat me. And I think that's what he needs to go in there with, is because Kamaru knows that he has a lot to prove coming into this. That he was exactly who everyone thought he was. But I think Leon's also knows that if I just work on my defense and make sure he doesn't back me up against the cage, then that's where I'm able to implement that. I think him keeping his back off the cage is going to be a huge factor
Yeah.
where the fight goes. That's a huge, huge factor against somebody like Kamaru Usman because he will push you against that cage and just split stomp you and get a boring decision, but he'll get that belt back, and that's all he cares about is getting the belt back. So,
and it's not like they're gonna do an immediate rematch after that.
no, they're not. They're going to be like, that's it. That's the third fight, man. So
we just did a fourth fight, and we're not doing that again.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, if we see if we see Leon put his back against the cage in at all and they didn't work on that,
I wouldn't mind if I don't mind if it happens because it's kind of inevitable that it's going to happen. Kamaru's just that good.
I agree, yes, but if he doesn't try to circle out of it and get out of it, then it's like, how did y'all not work on this little hole right here? Like,
well, what if he's like, no, do it, and I'll hang with you, see what happens.
He fucking gets a wizard and trips him, gets on top, gets a rear naked choke, boom, Leon Edwards, rear naked choke win. Call it a night. So
yeah, that's UFC. What is it? 284. I'm blanking. 285.
286.
286. Oh,
Jesus.
these numbers, man. It's crazy. We're almost at 300. But yeah, give us a follow, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things on all the different platforms. Let us know what your thoughts are on this card. I think it's going to be a really good card. I think people are going to be surprised with how fun it is. So let us know your thoughts. Send us a comment on this video. Peace out.